Hello everyone, Tactical Glitch here, and welcome back to another battle replay of Total War Warhammer 3. Today we have a replay file sent in by Loopy featuring a classic Wood Elf build versus Nurgle Infantry Rush. So for the army builds here, Loopy going for, well, only 3 Weight Watchers as their infantry because the rest are all mobility. Great Stag Knights, 3 of them, plus 3 more units of Glade Riders with spears, leading the army Sisters of Twilight with their Eagle Mount on the sky, and the Branch Wraith coming in with Malkov's Mystifying Miasma and Earth Blood. As for the other side of the battlefield, Rocket Roll, Loopy's ODM clanmate, a front line of Pestigors supported by some Forsakens of Nurgle on the flanks, one of them the Demon Spear Regiment of Renown, and then the rest are just mobility, 4 units of Chaos Furies of Nurgle and 2 more Plague Toads of Nurgle, leading the army, a Demon Prince of Nurgle coming in with Spirit Leech, Stream of Corruption, and Miasma of Pestilence. No healing, so rather interesting spell choice here. Let's see what happens as we jump into the battle. Right as the battle begins, the Weight Watchers will be moving up and aiming down at the Pestigors, welcoming them with a volley of devastating firepower, nuking 1/3 of their HP away. Actually, it's closer to 40%. And yeah, the Pestigors, despite their 25% of missile resistance, they have still taken insane damage from those volleys of firepower. After all, Weight Watchers are some of the best archers in the entire game, and Loopy following up with a great Stag Knight charge. The Pestigors are unbraced, so they will be taking additional damage from the cavalry attack. This Pestigor unit, having been weakened by the Weight Watcher fire, is just straight up routed. Now the Weight Watchers are switching their targets over to other Pestigors, while on the other side there, Nurgle Furies moving into flanking position, but they are getting wrecked by a Malkov's Mystifying Miasma and the Weight Watcher fire. Very nice targeting priority with the spell and missiles. Once the Chaos Furies are dealt with, the rest of the Nurgle mobility will have a hard time at pushing and threatening the Weight Watchers. Normally, rush builds can counter kite builds by aggressively pushing and closing in the distance. But unfortunately over here, the Wood Elves are just too fast for the Nurgle to deal with. Pestigors and Forsakens are fast for Nurgle standards, but what you need are cavalry to actually catch up with the foot archers. Now Glade Riders are retreating, but the Great Stag Knights continue their cycle charge. Sisters of Twilight continue to stay in the skies and poke away at the Nurgle Prince HP using their deadly missiles. Now the Demon Prince, 1/4 of his HP is already gone. Another unit of Chaos Furies got hit by a Malkov's Mystifying Miasma, combined with the Overwatch fire from all these Weight Watchers. These Chaos Furies are almost done for, quickly fading away from reality. More Chaos Furies are following up as they're more healthy and just diving down onto the Weight Watchers, but here comes the Glade Riders who are in position to counteract these Nurgle mobility. Plague Toads are following up as well, countercharging the Wood Elf countercharge, but unfortunately they can't break through the Glade Riders. A Stream of Corruption here in a desperate attempt to work down the HP of all these Weight Watchers, and the Demon Prince of Nurgle is also diving into the fray, but that puts him into the sight of all these Weight Watchers, receiving some pretty significant damage from the nearby Weight Watchers. When he attacks one unit, the other is free to fire at him. On the far side there, Sisters of Twilight has been picking away the health of the Demon Prince of Nurgle as well, and the Nurgle Prince is in some big trouble with the Weight Watchers firing at him at close range. Stag Knights are taking some damage as they are dragged into prolonged melee fight, but they are needed in this engagement. There's not much of a front line for the Wood Elves here, so the cavalry will have to sacrifice their HP and lives to hold back the Nurgle melee power. Even the Branch Wraith is engaging in a frontline fight right now, surrounded by the Forsaken of Nurgle. The Forsaken is comfortably beating up the Wood Elf spellcaster, while the Sisters of Twilight is on a pursuit against the Demon Prince. Thankfully for the Wood Elves, Weight Watchers, all of them has managed to pull out of melee fights after the sacrifice from all these Glade Riders and Stag Knights. One of the Glade Riders is on the verge of routing, though they didn't really finish off all the Chaos Furies, but they're pretty much close to that anyways. On the far side, Great Stag Knights pulling away from the Plague Toads and Pestigors doing a bit of cycle charging, while the Sisters of Twilight has switched to the Scatter Shot. Now the Furies and the Demon Prince are trying to surround the Sisters of Twilight and bring them down in melee combat. Some Pestigors managed to get out of the melee fight after breaking through the initial defenses of the Wood Elves, but unfortunately they simply do not have enough speed at 38 versus the 40 of the Weight Watchers, plus they're getting shot in the face as they try to close in on the Weight Watchers. And on top of that, Great Stag Knights are charging in just to rout off the Pestigors with their fear and the charge impact. Some of the Forsaken manage to momentarily catch up with the Weight Watchers, but if a charge comes in from the Great Stag Knights, they should be able to delay the Forsaken enough for the Weight Watchers to escape from their pursuers. In the skies, their Sisters of Twilight took a lot of damage since we last saw them, as the Furies and the Demon Prince are a bit too much for themselves to handle. Close to the white line, the Nurgle army might be getting a win here against the Wood of Mobility. Plague Toads and Pestigors just dragging down these Great Stag Knights and Glade Riders. Demon Prince will also come in, perhaps, to try to help out on this fight, but at the same time, the Forsaken desperately trying to chase after. The Weight Watchers are getting picked apart by the Weight Watchers firepowered, who still have quite a bit of ammo left. Though the Nurgle infantry is getting dangerously close to the Weight Watchers, so the Great Stag Knights and the Glade Riders will have to put themselves on the line just to delay the Nurgle infantry. And since the Nurgle army on the far side, the end of the battlefield, has secured the numbers advantage, slowly dragging down the Great Stag Knights and Glade Riders in melee combat, the Demon Prince decided to come over here and help out the Forsaken. Even attempting to use a Spirit Leech to drain away the health of the Sisters of Twilight, but they do have their Entwined Destiny that can give them a burst heal if they get low in health, so the spell isn't that useful in here. An Earthblood from the Branch Wraith, who managed to regroup for a second here, is healing back up the health of the Great Stag Knights, still having 28 models and plenty of space for healing. The Weight Watchers themselves have gotten quite a bit of distance between them and the Forsaken. The Forsaken got slowed down by the Malkovs from the regrouped Branch Wraith. And then a follow-up charge from the Great Stag Knights, the Demon Spew, the Regiment of Renowned Forsaken unit has been routed off, perhaps even shattered with this charge from the Great Stag Knights, while Weight Watchers, still safely away from all of these Forsaken, can just pick away the remaining Nurgle units however they want. Finally, the Nurgle Prince has caught up to the fight here and dropped down to try and save some of the Forsaken. But unfortunately, that puts him into the surround of all these Great Stag Knights. Some tattered Forsaken managed to regroup and try and support the Nurgle Prince, but right now the Nurgle Prince is locked down in melee by the Great Stag Knights and exposed to some incoming fire of the Weight Watchers, though the Weight Watchers did quite a bit of friendly fire against the Great Stag Knights. While the other unit of Forsaken, they tried to charge in, but with the Weight Watchers so close by, they just took a bunch of shots and decided to rout in the face of the Great Stag Knight mobility. And these Forsaken, despite still being relatively healthy, their only protection armor, 85 armor, is nothing in front of all these AP Weight Watcher fire, so a couple volleys from the Weight Watchers would be enough to rout them off as well. The Pestigors on the far side have managed to rout off the Wood of Mobility, now trying to rejoin this fight over here, but the problem is that the Wood Elves have marched all the way from the other side of the battlefield halfway across the map, doing quite a bit of marathon. The Pestigors simply can't get here fast enough to help out their Demon Prince of Nurgle, who is still stuck in a bunch of Great Stag Knights. The Nurgle Prince is quickly running out of health, the Plague Toads are fading away from reality, Forsaken are being routed off by the Wood of Mobility, the Pestigors are still not quite in position to support, and the Demon Prince decided to nope out of reality. The Wood Elves, with their mobility and missiles, managed to kite out the slow and sluggish Nurgle army. GG to both Loopy and Rocket Roll for the game. As you can see here, the Wood Elf missile kite can still be very lethal with the right execution and in the right situation. The Weight Watchers here shot up a ton of the Nurgle infantry, while the Great Stag Knights here, combined with the Glade Riders, cycle charging and delaying the advance of the Nurgle melee infantry, allowing all the missile units to dish out the pain. The Sisters of Twilight also did some really good damage over time against the Nurgle Demon Prince, while the Branch Wraith, not much to say about her today, as she got beaten up pretty hard by the Forsaken, only dropped some healing and a couple of Malkov's Mystifying Miasma. For the Nurgle army here, the Demon Prince got some good value, mostly because of Spirit Leech and Stream of Corruption. Melee-wise, didn't get that much value, as he was heavily shot by all kinds of AP missiles today. While the Pestigors, some of them got good value if they managed to catch the Great Stag Knights in melee and drag them down, otherwise they just got shot to pieces. Same goes for the Forsaken here, didn't really earn back their own value, while the rest of the Nurgle mobility, the Furies, got shot pretty hard by all kinds of Weight Watchers. The one that got some good value was the one that survived till the latest among all the Chaos Furies, till the late game, or at least mid-late game, while the others just got shot or drained away by Malkov's Mystifying Miasma. The couple Plague Toads being the slowest mobility, or at least one of the slowest mobility in the entire game, wasn't able to keep up with the Wood Elf Kite build. This build would have been great against a Wood Elf box build with Eternal Gods and Dryads in the front line, but unfortunately, against a Kite build, all these melee infantry simply don't have anywhere to fight, and when they try to push forward, the Wood Elves just backed up and showered them with arrows. So in the end, the melee infantry rush was kited away and whittled down by the Wood Elf missiles. And yeah, that's it for today's battle. I hope you all enjoyed this multiplayer action. If you want to see more Total War Warhammer content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.